Hey everybody, it's Jackie Angel with Ascension Present, and today I'm going to talk about competitiveness. Are you a competitive person? Stay tuned. I am a very competitive person. My husband never wants to play against me. Well, when we go bowling, he's like, I don't want to be on your team because I will disappoint you. But then if he's not on my team, we're going to take him down. So, see, this is the thing. If you are a competitive person like me, you probably struggle with this. So, being competitive, it's a good thing because you're driven, you get things done, and you do well in competition. The problem is when you are competitive, you probably struggle with envy. And envy is one of the 7 deadly sins. And oh man, it's a horrible sin because when you're competitive, now, if you're competitive with yourself, that's great. Like you want to succeed. But I noticed in me, and maybe you notice in you, that you don't just want to win, you want others to fail. And I started noticing this. So at 18, I had my conversion. And I think it was in one of Jeff Cavins' books. I was trying to remember where I read this quote. I think it was Jeff Cavins, maybe Walk with God, that book. But envy, the definition of envy, it's like so evil. The definition of envy is when you rejoice at others' sufferings and you weep at others' blessings. And I was like, oh, I know I've done that. Like, not only with people I don't like, because with people you don't like, you're like, I definitely want them to fail. Like, that's a horrible, God, it's so evil. I like thinking about it, I'm like, that's horrible. But like, even like people I do love, it's such a terrible thing because in the body of Christ, we're not competing against one another to get to heaven. In fact, in the as part of the body of Christ, really the only thing we're competing for is the crown, right? It like in scripture, it talks a lot about like we're running this race towards heaven. We are competing for a prize, a crown, and we want to run so as to win the race. But we're not like, it's not a zero-sum game where it's like, if I win, you lose. If you win, I lose. Like, that's not how it works in heaven. In heaven, it's like we're all trying to get there. And I see this a lot. I see this competition spirit. I see it on Instagram. We have envy. When people do well, we feel sad. And when people do poorly, we're like, haha, you failed. Like, that is evil. That is one of the 7 deadly sins is envy. It says in scripture that Jesus was handed over out of envy because they envied him. They sent him to his death. I see that in me. And if you see that in yourself, if you are rejoicing when other people fail, it's time for us to like root that out. Like we need to start, at least acknowledge that that's in you. And then you can know you have to root it out, right? The church fathers would say, know yourself. And if you recognize in yourself that you have this evil thing called envy, where you rejoice when someone else loses, and when somebody wins, you weep, that's something that we need to start rooting out of our lives. But again, I see this in the church. I see this with, I'm a speaker. I see this with speakers. Like I see this with musicians. I'm a musician. I see this with musicians. Like people see, instead of supporting each other and cheering each other on, we get sad at other people's blessings. And I just want to read from you. First of all, St. John Chrysostom, he said this about envy. He said, envy arms us against one another. If everyone strives to unsettle the body of Christ, where shall we end up? We are engaged in making Christ's body a corpse. We declare ourselves members of one and the same organism, yet we devour one another like beasts. Wow. I just see people devouring one another. And this is the body of Christ cannot, right? Like a house divided cannot stand. We can't devour each other. Oh my gosh, we have to build up the body of Christ, not tear each other down. And that's what envy is like. I want you to lose and I want you to hurt because only I can win. No, that's not how it works. In the body of Christ, someone said this to me once and it was so powerful. They said, listen, any victory of yours for Jesus is a victory of mine. And any victory of mine is a victory of yours. And I thought that was so beautiful because especially with those of us who are in ministry, sometimes we look at other people's ministries, or even if you have a job, like even if, you see other people, we think like, if they succeed, that means I'm not good enough. No, that has nothing to do with you, right? We need to build each other up and rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. Not rejoice when others weep and weep when those rejoice. And actually, it says this in Romans. It says, let love be genuine, hate what is evil, hold fast to what is good, love one another with brotherly affection, outdo one another in showing honor. And then it says in 14, bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse them, rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another, do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly, never be conceited. And 21, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Listen, we're never supposed to overcome evil with evil. As Christians, we are always supposed to overcome evil with good. Always. We don't give into evil. Again, we're not in a battle with each other, you guys. We are in a battle between good and evil, death and life, darkness and light. We are not in a battle with each other. And I feel like sometimes in our country, sometimes in our world, that's how it feels. It feels like we're constantly yelling at each other, fighting each other. You know, we want people to lose and we want people to it's horrible. It's like, that's not what it means to be a Christian. In Christianity, right? We're like weeping with those who weep, rejoicing with those who rejoice. And we are fighting evil with good. That's how we fight evil. We fight evil with holiness, with good, with the truth, with beauty. So if you're a competitive person and you know you are more disposed to envy, meaning like, I want to win and I want to take others down in the process. Like, I don't want people to win. Like, I want them to lose and I want them to feel it and make it hurt. You know, when you fall in love with Jesus and you're like, okay, I want to change. Like, one of the first steps of the spiritual life is the recognition of sin. And it's like, I want to root out this sin. This is called the purgative stage. Pope John Paul talked about the purgative stage, the luminative stage, and then the unitive stage. Well, the purgative stage is, again, we're rooting out sin. The luminative stage is looking at virtue and then replacing that sin with virtue. So instead of being envious, we need to replace that as people who build each other up, who honor each other, who cheer for each other. We rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. To have a heart like Jesus, not to have a heart like Satan. Let's pray for one another to learn how to love like Christ. And if you're competitive, great, have fun with your competitive spirit and do great things, be great. But don't take others down. Always build others up, because your holiness doesn't mean that they can't be holy as well. So pray for me and I will pray for you. God bless. We'll see you next time.